Debugged Dialogs. Let's get into it.
Hey, we're back.
Hey, man, long time.
It feels like it, right?
It is a long time. I mean,
Yeah.
last time I saw you, you were here.
So, yeah, I was there in your backyard,
Yep,
which is
you were.
interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then it's
So,
been swamped with going to conferences. You went to Switzerland. I've been speaking in
yeah.
2 places.
Yeah, I've been on the road quite a bit. I was in, after Switzerland, I was in Toronto, Ottawa, and then we just came back from MMS Nashville,
Oh, yeah.
Music
How was
City.
that?
That was amazing. It was an amazing event. A lot of fun and informative.
Mhm.
And then my company Robopack had a booth there as well, and so we sponsored, and it was great.
I
And
need
and the fun thing about the event was uh, they made it into a cowboy theme, right? Western. So all of
I
us were
saw the
wearing like
suit and the
cowboy
hat.
hats and funky jackets and stuff, and it was cool. And then, without me knowing, uh, during the opening reception on the pool deck,
Mhm.
some of my friends came up to me like, "Hey, Harjit, can you hand us your phone? And do you have any electronics in your pockets?" I'm like, "Oh no, 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 no. Oh no, 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 no. I know what's happening here. I know." So they're like, "No, you're going in the pool. We're gonna toss you in, but we don't want to damage your electronics." I'm like, "No." So I tried as best as I could. I could not get out of it. So I said, "Give me a minute. Let me go and change." So I went back to my room, changed to my swimming trunks. I had the hat on, and then they did a little skit. I went into the pool. Hey, it was all fun.
Cool. I need
Yeah,
to try to get to an MMS sometime. And
you
Nashville,
should.
it's a great place. I've been there once, and I really hope to get back someday.
Yeah, that's great. So, anyways, so we got some topics that we want to cover, and you
Yep.
want to start off with.
Yeah, I mean, it's the EWS Exchange Web Services thing in Exchange Online, and I mean, way back in I think it was 2018, Microsoft announced that they were doing major changes to the EWS setup for Exchange Online, not Exchange On-Prem. That's still the same.
Right.
But even back then they said that they were gonna continue issuing security updates and non-security fixes and stuff like that, but the product has not evolved at all since then, more or less. The design and feature set is just the same. So
I'll
it's
go ahead and change the screen.
well, yeah. I'm going to change the screen just in a bit. I'm just going to keep talking during.
All right.
I mean, Microsoft announced in 2018, like I said, that they were going to discontinue some parts of the EWS in 2026. So that was way in the future back then. That's like 6 or 8 years. And people, yeah, said, yeah, we'll fix it. EWS isn't a big thing. But even though a lot of people are using it. So, I mean, even though it's just a year left now until October 1st next year, it's time to start looking at this. I know a lot of organizations that still have applications using EWS to communicate with Exchange Online.
Right.
And come October 1st next year, they will hard kill the EWS service in Exchange Online. That means that the systems using it will stop working. And they gave quite a long heads up for changing this, but now it's less than a year, and it's really time to start looking into what kind of third-party apps that they will affect. I know, for instance, a lot of organizations have these conference room boards outside where you book the room and see if it's busy or not, and a lot of those are using EWS to communicate with the calendars of the rooms. And they will
I
stop
see.
working unless they change to Graph API for communication instead. And that can be a lengthy process. You
Right.
might need to replace your systems if the vendor of your conference room boards won't support it, for instance.
Okay.
So it is a good. And I just want to show a really good place to look at it. First of all, as
Let me
always,
switch over. Hold on.
yeah,
Let me switch over.
switch
There you
over.
go.
First of all, check your message center because you will have a message in there if you are using EWS. Microsoft has gone through your tenant, and they will have a message under Message Center listing the application IDs of the enterprise apps that are using AWS. But you could also go into the Microsoft 365 Admin Center under the Exchange reports, under Usage reports, Usage Exchange. Here you have AWS usage. So in here you can actually see I have one active app still in my environment, so I need to fix that. It's nothing important, so it doesn't matter if it stops working. Go in here and check, and you can actually see what's the application ID, what it does, and if it's being used. So you see the last activity. So if you go into this view and you find a bunch of active apps, it's really, really time to start looking into the AWS usage. So not something will stop working in a year's time, because that's kind of when you get a production stop for some reason.
Okay.
So that's just a friendly reminder that it's like, again, it's just Exchange Online. It doesn't affect Exchange on premises, but it could be access to archive mailboxes. It could be the conference rooms, for instance.
Right.
Anything. So check
So
it.
that's a really good tip, actually.
Yeah, I mean, a year sounds like a long time, but when it comes to
Yeah.
these things, it can be lengthy processes if you need to replace hardware and do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Contact your vendors, try to iron out. It could be your own software developers as well that are using AWS to look up emails or calendars and stuff. So
Okay.
dig into it.
I didn't know about that, so that's informative for me as well.
Cool.
So, and then did you hear, were you affected by the AWS meltdown for a few days?
I wasn't. Not the company I work for either, which is good. But I know people who was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of services that rely on AWS were affected. Third-party tools and applications, they're all hosted there and stuff like that. I know some, I believe there's been like even some places where they were selling like tickets and things like that for entrances and all that. They had to like cancel out because they couldn't process any of those things. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, hopefully things. It's always DNS, right?
It's always DNS. I was just going to say, it's always DNS. I mean, working in tech, working in operations for all these years, it's always DNS.
It's always DNS.
Yeah.
And then the other big hot news is that Windows 10 end of support happened last week on Tuesday on the 14th.
Yep, that's right.
So at this stage, if you're still dealing with Windows 10,
Yeah.
I really don't know what to say. I mean, I know there's some struggles. I know there's some, edge case situations, which is fine. But the majority of it, I mean, if your devices are capable of Windows 11, you should be upgraded to Windows 11, right? Plain and simple as that. Um, and I mean, if you're running into like hardware requirements and things like that, if your life cycle is not, there are some options, but they're expensive options.
Mhm.
For example, the ESU program, right? The extended.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
but they're
for one
expensive.
client, it could be fine, but for 100 clients, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. So I so what do people do now? Where do you go? I mean, either you get new hardware, get to Windows 11, upgrade the ones you have, or jump on ESU to buy you a little bit of time. I know on the consumer side there are a few ways of getting it, including like using Microsoft Rewards. When you do your Bing searches and stuff like that. So if you are pretty active there, you can use those rewards to buy yourself a ESU. On the commercial side, if you have a license for Windows 365, then you get ESU for free for that particular device. So
yeah, I have. I mean, I'm one of the guys who still have a Windows 10 running. I've got one of these mini computers with an automation system out in my garage in my server rack, and that's not.
You can't upgrade.
It's not Windows 11 compatible. I'm gonna upgrade. I need to buy a new one, but then I need to reinstall everything, get everything working, and I just keep pushing it forward. But that's shielded off by a firewall. Nothing can access it from the outside. It's just on a separate VLAN. So, I mean, I'm not worried about the security patches.
Yeah.
But still, I need to dig into it. I need to do it.
So since I know you and I are both very passionate about accessibility. We've talked
Yeah.
about that before. So when I was at Microsoft, we had one of the challenges that we faced from the field, especially from the accessibility community, is that um, many of them are using these devices, these whether they are for people in wheelchairs and things like that, and for visual, for sound, for translations, and whatever.
Mhm.
But those devices, made by a third-party company, not a Microsoft thing or whatever, that Windows, I think the Windows 10, and they're not upgradable.
No.
And you can't really put an ESU on that as well. So there was challenges like, do they have to buy something new? And we're
Yeah.
talking about hundreds, and um,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a big challenge.
that's a big challenge.
Especially with the third-party apps if they're not compatible. I
Yeah,
mean, if we just talk accessibility features in Windows 11 and Windows 10, there's so much more in Windows 11
there's
than
so
that
much.
Windows 10 that's built in.
Yeah,
I mean, I remember when we bought stuff back in the day for users who needed like to speak to their computer because of an accident. I mean, that
yeah.
was hefty cost
Oh
for that
yes,
software. Now it's built in with in Windows. I mean, it's included and it's really competent as well.
exactly.
So it's a
Yeah,
big change out there.
big change.
Yeah.
So now let's shift gears to Ignite,
Oh
Microsoft
yeah, it's coming
Ignite,
up.
coming up in San Francisco in what,
Is it 3-4 weeks?
3 weeks, maybe something like that, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Um,
really not looking forward to the 12 and a half hour flight.
I know, I know.
Well, it's going to
You
be
know,
fun.
it's
When you get there,
it's
you have something look good to look forward to,
yeah,
which is good.
but it's funny that I live in the U.S. on the East Coast, and it's gonna take me about that much time, with my connections and things like that to get to San Francisco. It's the weirdest thing ever, right?
Yeah,
But anyways, enough about flights. All right.
yeah,
So let's share. So we are veterans of Ignite. We've been going to every single Ignite and TechEd before that and stuff
yeah.
like that. So we have a lot of experience with this event. What are some tips we can give to our audience, those who are going or who have been going, and those who are new, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Where do you start?
Where do you start? Yeah, plan your days.
Mhm.
Make sure to check the session catalog,
Yeah,
and don't plan one thing per slot.
yeah,
Plan multiple, because if you're in one session and it's not really what you thought it would be,
yeah,
it's good to look at your app and just slip out and go to another session so you have multiple ones booked. And even if you have
100%.
multiple ones booked and you can't go to them, if you have them added to your digital backpack, you can watch them later online.
Exactly. So yeah, definitely plan your schedules, add the sessions that you want. And it's also a good idea, like you said, to piggyback on now, because sometimes you go into a session and it's really not what you expected it to
No,
be. So
exactly.
you're like, oh, now what? Where do I go? So you
Yep.
can flip over to your schedule and go and say, hey, maybe I'll go check the other one out, right?
Yes.
So that's important. Obviously, go through your profile, set your profile properly with all your information. Ideally, you should select a checkbox to say, um, there's a checkbox there to share uh, your profile,
Yeah, with
so
others so they can connect.
so
Yeah.
other people can connect, and then
Yeah.
you'll find people will are able to schedule meetings with you as well, right? In the
Yeah.
portal. So that's important.
Absolutely.
The main thing is actually, hopefully by now you've already booked your flights, you got your hotel, but do some research on San Francisco. Do your
Yeah.
research on Moscone Center, right, where the event's going to be. Find out how you're going to get from your hotel to the convention center. And most of the time, Microsoft provides busing from
Yeah.
hotels.
Yeah.
But it may be walkable for you. Just
Yeah.
check out what's in the area, things like that. Coordinate that as well.
Yeah.
Um, find out who your friends are going. Set up a WhatsApp group or a Signal group to, hey,
Yeah.
where are we going tonight? What are we doing for dinner? And things like that.
Keep track of each other if something happens. It's
Yeah,
always good to know where your friends
yeah.
are.
Always
Uh,
have a buddy system. I always have a buddy system like you.
yeah,
Hey, if I don't respond in in a given amount of time, there's a red flag,
yeah,
and to come and look for me or something like that. So vice versa,
yeah,
buddy system's important. Uh,
absolutely.
what else? Um, and then there are a lot of sponsored happy hours,
Yes.
parties as we call it. But monitor chatter on social media.
Yeah,
You'll find sponsors will actually post and say, hey, we are inviting you to, we are having a happy hour,
yeah,
please fill out this form, submit things like that, and you'll find it all on social media, whether it's LinkedIn, X, and so on and so forth, or ask around, someone will tell you.
yeah,
Those are good to go to for networking purposes.
yeah. And another thing about the schedules, there are also the instructor-led labs and stuff, and
Yep.
those have a limited amount of seats. So
Yes.
don't wait. Make sure you schedule them.
Yes.
And
And
if you do schedule them, please attend,
yeah.
so you don't take spots from someone else.
Yeah, they're usually about 75 to 80 spots in some of those
Yeah,
labs, and each one of the seats has a computer and stuff for you to go through
yeah,
the labs. But from my experience, because I used to deliver those labs at the few ignites before, and we have people lining up sometimes an hour before just to get a spot.
yeah,
So I'm not saying this is going to be for all of the labs, but if there's a lab that's really really popular, get there early, get so you can get a spot.
yeah.
Really good tip there.
Yeah, and even
Uh,
if you book them, even if they're full, so you can't book them, they always have spots for walk-ups.
yeah,
So don't despair if they're full.
yeah,
Get there early and stand in line, and they normally keep quite a few spaces so you can walk in.
exactly,
And people
exactly.
don't show up, so there are always empty spaces.
Right, right. Um, and then obviously network with people, reach
Yep.
out, network with people, follow people on social media. Find out who's going. That's how we met, right?
Yeah,
You and I
absolutely.
and several of us, back in Tech Ed in New Orleans and stuff. That's how we met.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. So
It
you
is.
got friends to hang out with, you got friends to go for lunch and breakfasts and stuff, and sometimes coordinating sessions and whatnot. Um, but yeah, network and hallway sessions as we call it, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you got a problem. You're like, hey, you know, hey Pat, are you working with, do you do a lot of co-pilot stuff? Oh yes, I do. What can I help you with? Well, I got this issue. We can't get this or that working for us, and then it's kind of like a mini session but
Yeah.
privately, things like that.
That's worth so much.
Yeah.
It is.
So yeah, attend sessions, make sure you check out the expo hall, which is going to
Yeah.
be massive.
I was just about to say, when you plan your sessions, plan visits to the hub as well.
Yes.
Walk around the vendors, talk to the vendors, because they have some really cool stuff there that you
Oh
didn't know
yeah.
you might need. I mean, they
Yeah.
could have the solution for something you've been looking for a long,
Yeah.
long time.
If there's some interest in certain areas for your company, like hey, whether you want to do application patching, or you want to do, I don't know, some copilot, or you got some hardware things that go talk to them. And the
Mhm.
more you talk to them, actually the more connection you make with them. And also, you know when people actually come up genuinely to have conversations with sponsors, they have something special for you
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
behind the desk, right? So
absolutely.
it's one thing to walk up to a booth and just grab a swag, whether it's a keychain or a water bottle or something like that.
A
Yeah,
fidget spinner, I don't know how many of those I've got through the years.
exactly. But have conversations. I mean, they spent a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah,
money and time and people to be there
they do.
for you. So, you know, it goes two ways, right?
Yeah.
Um, Anything
And not
else
just
we
the vendor,
missed?
yeah, not just the vendors, because they also have the expert area and the community area in the hub,
Hmm.
where you can talk to all the MVPs, for instance,
Yep.
that have signed up to be experts there.
Hmm.
And you have the Microsoft people there as well in different
Hmm.
areas. You can go and talk to an Entra expert or
Yep.
Azure or whatever your interest is, which is really
Yeah.
good because you talk directly to the source, which is
Yeah.
good.
That's a good point, actually. So there are different types of sessions, I guess. So you got the keynotes, you got the breakout sessions, then you have some sessions. They call them community sessions. They'll be in
Mhm.
a community space,
Yeah,
and they're quick. short sessions that are really fun.
25 minutes or something, theater sessions, yeah.
10 minutes, yeah, and then they got theater sessions that will be happening in the hub, right? Um, those as well. And then if you look at the schedule, you'll see things like OD something, OD 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Those are those on-demand sessions, but they're pre-recorded,
Yep.
so you can catch them later on, kind of a thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's recorded, and the decks are shared. So don't take photos of the screen all the time. It just
Right.
annoys everyone else.
Yeah.
Everything is available afterwards, which is
Yeah.
good to know. There's no
Yeah.
need to use your camera. Save the battery for later that night.
Yeah. So
Another thing which is really good that they've had the last couple of years is the ability to have a free exam for a certification.
oh, right.
I think they're offering one for Microsoft certifications for free and one for GitHub certifications for free as well.
Oh, nice.
I saw somewhere that they were opening up on the 28th of
Okay.
October for registration. So you have to go through Person View as always when you register for those things and search for San Francisco, and then you have a Microsoft Ignite event. But on the 28th, they will give you a 100% discount for one certification on site.
That's
And
a
if you
great
do get
value.
certified- Yeah, if you do get certified, or if you renew the certification during the last year, you need to go to the Microsoft Learn booth as well in the hub, because they will celebrate you and give you swag and stuff.
Oh,
if you
that's
show
right.
them on your phone.
That's
which is
right.
nice.
That's right.
And they
And they
normally
have,
have
like-
really nice stuff.
Yeah, and they have some special swag if you
Yeah.
get certified, and then you can get a nice picture of the background and all that fun
Exactly.
stuff. You're
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
Um,
I think they also said in one of I think it was Rick's behind the scenes recordings he pushes out on LinkedIn, where they will actually have one of those learn in both conference venues. So both in the Moscow West where the sessions are and in the hub. So you can go to either one.
perfect.
If I understood it correctly.
Yeah.
I'm
And
going
if
to
you-
do a certification again. I always do. This year I'm going for the Information Security Administrator just to prove for myself that I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good tip, because that's a great value. I think it's usually
Yeah.
those
They're
certifications are not cheap.
$500, yeah, $165 a pop, I think, which is
Yeah.
good. So, I mean, that's a
Yeah.
good value.
Good value.
Yeah.
All right. So anything else that we can think of?
No, have fun. Wear comfortable shoes
Yeah.
because we will walk a lot.
Yeah.
I normally
My-
average about 25 to 30,000 steps a day at the
Easy.
night. Yeah,
Easy. Yeah, exactly. If you're gonna buy some new shoes, buy them now and break them
Yeah.
in, because you are going to hurt.
Yeah.
And also, the other thing to do is that don't stack up your day with just sessions after sessions after sessions. Skip some,
Yeah.
right? Because you can always watch them later, kind of a thing. Go to the ones that you're really, really interested, but give yourself enough break so you can sit back, chill, maybe talk to some people, go to the hub, talk to the vendors or Microsoft, right? Maybe even step outside the convention center and just like, hey, I'm going to go back to my hotel and refresh or something like that, or get an ice cream or something. I don't know. But
That's important.
it's
You
really
don't
important.
have to eat provided lunch, which is normally a sandwich or something. I mean, you never know what it is here, but I mean,
You
you
never
can
know.
leave the venue and go eat somewhere else if you want to.
Yeah.
Bring some friends, have a nice conversation and network. It's always
Yeah.
nice. And if you're alone, just walk up to a table and ask if you can sit down and talk to them.
Right,
You might be your best friend going forward.
Maybe. And obviously, if you see us there, reach
Yeah,
out, come and
yes,
talk to
right.
us. We are friendly people. And we have some cool stickers for you.
Absolutely.
And you may see us in some funky outfits and some evening events. You never know.
You never know.
All right, my friend. So that's it. Until
That's
next time.
I'll see you in San Francisco.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
This is Debugged Dialogs.